at Desawe Kanda, also live on Kesmi 107.1 in Tamale and beyond. We're live on W 93.5 in Wa and beyond. Coming up this evening, another bloody day in the Upper East region as 5 persons have been reportedly killed and 2 others injured after an attack on a vehicle by gunmen in Binduri in the Upper East region. We have details of this rather unfortunate incident here on Hot Edition. Stay with us. Also, Asanteman Council summons Ashanti Regional New Patriotic Party Chair Bernard Entry Bwesiako, also known as Chairman Wontumi, of the alleged derogatory remarks he made against Asantehene 246 to the second. We'll give you details of that shortly, because we understand there's a high-powered delegation at the Mensha Palace as we speak to plead on behalf of Chairman Wontumi. How's that going? Stay with us. Also, the Teachers and Educational Workers Union, TEWU, have joined the ongoing strike by the University's Senior Staff Association over pension arrears and conditions of service. We have details of this plus the latest in business. And also, we look ahead to the Black Stars make or break game against Mozambique. The sports team will be joining us later on the show here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. We have an entertainment update as well for you. And all these, plus what's happening as well on 3news.com here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. As always, we're streaming live on Facebook at 3FM 927, also on X at 3FM 927. You can connect with us and share your views, thoughts, and opinions on the issues we're going to be talking about for the next 60 minutes. I am Alfred Ocansey. Welcome. Let's get into the details now. At least 5 women have been killed after gunmen attacked a vehicle in the Binduri district of the Upper East region. 2 other persons have been reportedly injured in the attack. The women were amongst traders traveling to the Atuba market, one of the busiest markets in the Binduri district, when the gunmen opened fire on their vehicle. Now, the attackers fled the scene before security agencies arrived at the place, unfortunately. Now, the injured have been transported to a health facility for treatment, while the deceased have been transported to the morgue. Now, it comes barely a week after more than 5 persons died in a renewed Boko chieftaincy conflict. Now, we've been monitoring the situation there, and my colleague who has been looking at that on the ground, Castro Senyala, give us the details of what has been going on, the reaction so far about this rather unfortunate incident. We'll hear from Castro shortly, but Dr. Adam Bona is a security analyst, also going to be joining us here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. Castro Senyala is a man on the ground for us, is joining us. Castro, thank you for connecting with us here on Hot Edition. First of all, let's get some updates on what's happened just a few minutes ago that led to the death of these 5 women. What do we know so far?
Yes, so Alfred, just when we thought relative calm was returned to Boko following a week long of clashes between the 2 feuding factions in the protracted Boko chieftaincy dispute, we are hearing just this evening that a vehicle transporting traders made up mainly of women was attacked on the way to the Atuba market in the Binduri district, which is just some few kilometers away from Boko itself. We understand that the attackers ambushed the vehicle, opened fire on them as the vehicle was traveling, which led to the vehicle stopping completely. And then the attackers came in and fired more shots towards the vehicle, ended up killing almost. Now we are getting the figure is 6, because we understand that 1 more person has been confirmed dead at the hospital where some of the injured were taken to. As we speak now, we understand that the military and the police have arrived to the place. In fact, the police have evacuated the bodies to the morgue. We are yet to establish which of the hospitals, but we understand that it's a hospital within the Binduri district. And also, those who have sustained some gunshot wounds have been taken to a private hospital for treatment. We understand that the military has and the police have increased. Patrols around that area, intensified the patrols, especially on the highways, following an attack on a bus carrying nurses some 2 days ago.
So it is indeed the case that this was a bus transporting passengers to a market in nearby Binduri district that was ambushed by the gunmen who indiscriminately opened fire on the vehicle?
Yes. So that is exactly what happened. From security sources that I have stayed in touch with, I've always stayed in touch with, they tell me it's not a bus anyway, but it's a truck, one of these market trucks, which usually the cargo trucks, which usually, in addition to the cargo, also transport market women. It was that kind of truck which was attacked this evening.
And confirm for us, the deceased, when some 6 people so far, are they all women or it's made up of both male and female, the deceased?
Yes, so we understand that the figure now is 4 women and then 6 men who were attacked, who have died from the attack. We understand that the other 2, the one left now who is injured is also a female and is being attended to at the hospital.
So let's clarify this: 4 women and 2 men.
Yes, that's the figure now from security sources.
Stay with me, Castro. Let's cross over to the other line, and Dr. Adam Bona is a security analyst, is joining us on the telephone. He's been monitoring this quite closely. And Dr. Bona, I thank you for connecting with us. And I was having a conversation with you some 3 hours ago when you first put out this information. And now we do know, as has been confirmed, that 6 people have been confirmed dead as a result of this attack on a vehicle transporting passengers to a market in the nearby Binduri district that was ambushed by the gunmen who indiscriminately opened fire on the vehicle. Now, what, in your view, could have led to this? Is it a matter of these criminals taking advantage of what is happening there or something else?
Oh, yes. Good evening, Alfred and your listeners. Well, just like you said, this afternoon I received a call in the midst of the firing that an attack is in the Avoca area, and so I wanted to know what it was about. But it looks like the telephone, whoever called me, it went off. So eventually he called back and said, well, a lot of the people have been injured, people have been fired upon, and people are dead. And so on the alert platform, I shared it there and checked to be sure that it was true before I shared, shared it. The mentality of terrorists, if you look at what is going on in Boko, it's something that resembles what goes on in areas where you have terrorists inflicting fear, panic, and harm and death on people. And it is their modus operandi to do that. The idea is to attack you when you least expect it, and the idea is to afflict, so much pain, so much so that, it would be broadcasted everywhere. Because if you look at this, yesterday, let me be honest with you, around 10:20 a.m., a bus was attacked in Boko.
Yesterday?
A bus was fired upon in Boko.
Around 10 p.m.?
10 a.m.
10 a.m.?
Yes, 10 a.m. Broad daylight, 10 a.m. in Boko Township. The bus was fired upon.
By who?
By gunmen. The bus was fired upon by gunmen.
And this is a passenger bus?
A passenger bus, yes. It was fired upon yesterday. But that didn't make the headline. The bus was fired upon yesterday, and I let your reporter check. The bus was fired upon yesterday, but that probably didn't come to the attention of the general public and the media. And so, whilst grappling with that and asking questions, what is happening in Boko, only to receive another message that a truck has been fired upon this afternoon, and 6 people, unfortunately, have lost their lives, including women who are traders. And so, like I was saying, it almost looked like it's taking a dimension where these combatants or these people who are ambushing and shooting people are using the tactics of terrorists to be able to communicate whatever they think needs to be communicated, because it's becoming too consistent. They are firing sometimes, at security, officers, killing some of them, and firing innocent, bystanders. Someone who probably psychologically is not, too sane. They sprayed the person with almost 10 bullets in town, and the list is on end. And so, Alfred, mine is that probably we are not broadening the scope. We are, as a country, we are treating this as one of the incidents that is happening in Boko, to the extent that we have found a rocket-propelled grenade that was going to be fired. And probably if this hits an armored tank, you can bet that it will penetrate. It will explode and penetrate and destroy it. And they had it. This is not your normal, usual ethnic conflict where they are using artisanal weapons, firing at one another. They are using sophisticated weapons. When you saw a video that I shared on the alert platform, where they were firing at, hiding behind some trailers and firing, like the guerrilla type of war. So, Alfred, I have spoken to everybody I have to speak to this afternoon into this evening, and all of them are confused. They are not too sure what is going on. Not too sure what is going on. The dimension, which we are not talking to, we seem not to be, we seem to be focused. It started with chieftaincy. That is a root cause.
Absolutely, and I think
different layers have been added to it now.
True, and that you talk about how this conflict has evolved. In fact, that's one of the areas or the angles that we tackled right from Friday into the Saturday conversation in the morning up to today, because, as you indicated, yes, it was about chieftaincy conflict, but now we're seeing, for instance, the violence spreading beyond Boko itself to areas like Bogatanga, Binduri, as we've seen, and adjoining communities as well. That's a development that obviously has to be looked at differently. But Castro, that attack on the bus at 10 a.m. yesterday that Dr. Bona makes reference to, is that one that you caught wind of?
No, yes, I picked information, very little information about that, but like I've always stated, I usually rely heavily on sources within the security to confirm, considering that the security has stopped coming out openly to confirm or otherwise of incidents that we hear about. And so usually when I hear about an attack, I rely on them who provide me with details and ask that I keep them out of the picture.
Indeed.
Yes, so I can say that, yes, I heard about the attack on the bus, and what Mr. Bona is saying is not something he's just saying. It's in fact true, except that I was hoping to get confirmation from the police or the other sister security agencies before I could report it.
Great. While you work on your sources for some more details, Dr. Bona, finally, before I let you go, taking into consideration the evolving nature of this conflict, what should be the most potent approach to address what we are confronted with now, the nature of the conflict now?
The approach should be multifaceted. 2022, I think your reporter will tell you, and you know, that some of us, I was part of the government delegation that visited the city. And when we got there was a promise by the leaders of the delegation, i.e., the defense minister, the minister of the interior, and all the powers that be when you are talking about security of Ghana, both territorial security and internal security, that we will be coming back in 3 months. We will be coming back in 3 months because they promised us that. We've met the the chief of Boko, the Boko Naba. We met the Kusasis. The Kusasis. We met their young people. We met the Mamprosis, their elders, and then the youths differently. That's what we did. We met the leadership, opinion leaders differently, met the youth differently from both sides. And they told us that give us 3 months. We won't hear one firearm fired. And for 3 months when we monitored, no firearm was fired. But subsequently when we came to Accra, it's been more than 2 years or more than a year. There hasn't been that delegation because we went, we sat with them, they shared their frustrations, we discussed with them, this is how we must go, the chieftaincy issue must be treated differently from the criminality and the terror attacks that is going on, and they agreed. For 3 months, the guns were silent. But unfortunately, critically, we did not go back. Once we didn't go back, I think a week or 2 weeks when the 3 months elapsed, we started hearing fighting again in the place. And so I asked, and when I asked, I was told that there is no money. The finance ministry is supposed to provide money for these things to be done. The only money that is available is to pay ration, take care of the military, the police, and the rest for their upkeep. But in terms of dialogue for those who are supposed to be dialoguing behind the scenes, which is very important, is missing. And once that is missing, is the reason why you see these things going on that way. Because then we are only tackling this thing using the security approach, the military police approach, which has failed. It has always been temporary. Dialogue is a permanent way of dealing with, this conflict and war situation. But unfortunately, we are just talking, have you heard the president speak? The president has not spoken. I'm expecting the president that when the people demonstrated against the military, okay, he's the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, he's the chairman of the National Security Council. I was expecting him to speak. He has not spoken because that is his authority. That is being attacked when you are the commander-in-chief of the armed forces and the chairman of the Security Council, and these things are going on. You are supposed to speak. He hasn't spoken. 3 people died. The military have come under attack. They've issued statements. Subsequently, bases have been attacked in Boko. Today, we have 6 people, innocent people, have been killed in Boko. Are we going to hear the president talk? I don't know. Are we going to have some allocation to say dialogue? Because you know what is going on. We are using just the security solution. No dialogue. There is no dialogue at all. When you see some dialogue, some people have attempted. But the kind of dialogue that took place in 2022, if it had continued, perfect. Boko probably quietly would have been returning to normalcy gradually by today. Maybe Boko would have just been the normal Boko we have known where there was no conflict. But today, it's there. So Alfred, for me, it has to be a multifaceted approach. We don't know whether terrorists have invaded the place. Because what is going on with all the security deployment to Boko in the last 2 weeks? These people have invaded and fired at buses, fired at a bus yesterday. Today, emboldened, ambushed a truck and killed people. Some injured, 6 of them confirmed death. What are we doing? Is Boko not part of Ghana? So for me, I just think that we need to do more than we are doing, Alfred.
I appreciate your time. Dr. Bona, thank you so much for joining us and your thoughts on this matter.
Thank you.
Dr. Bona is a security analyst joining us with his thoughts on the happenings in Boko. If you just joined us here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7, also live on Kesme 107.1 in Tamale and beyond, and on W93.5 in Wa and beyond. This afternoon, at least 6 people are reported dead in a fresh attack in Boko. This was after gunmen opened fire on a bus en route to a market in Binduri. Now, this comes after 48 hours of relative calm in the town. The victims comprise now we do know 4 females and 2 males. According to our reporter who is connected with us right now, Castro Senyana, the incident unfolded when a bus transporting passengers to a market in the nearby Binduri district was ambushed by gunmen who indiscriminately opened fire on the vehicle. And we also got confirmation from Hamza Amadou, who is the municipal chief executive of Bako, also verifying the distressing call on this matter. But what we're learning now is that even though security has been beefed up in the area, these gunmen have also been able to identify the loopholes and are taking advantage of it. And this is happening in broad daylight. That's rather unfortunate incident. But quickly, Castro, before I let you go, we have also just received information from the Bogota Technical University issuing a communique on the killing of Al-Hassan Azuma, who's a deputy registrar and director in charge of public affairs, by an unidentified gunman on Wednesday, 17 January 2024 at his residence. Now, they've taken a number of decisions, but if you do know exactly what the position of the management of Bogota Technical University is upon their crucial meeting over the weekend, can you give us some detail?
Yes, so Alfred, firstly, the school management condemned the action of the attackers, considering that they felt the man was of good support or good service to not just the school, but the region and country as a whole. He was a lecturer, he was a worker contributing to the development of the university. But the school is saying that, irrespective of what has happened, the incident is an isolated one, and they are hoping that it would not in any way affect the operations of the school. Urge that both students and staff should continue academic work and allow police and the police who are handling the investigations to do their job. It appears that, and indeed, the killing of the lecturer or the staff of the university in a way shook the very core of the university, as students and staff began to get worried about their security, especially that one of them was gunned down. But the school has stated, and stressed that arrangements are being made to ensure that both staff and students are safe so that they can go about their academic activities.
Castro, appreciate your time on this. Thank you very much. Castro Senyala is a reporter in the Upper East region, giving us updates on what's happened in the Upper East region, specifically Binduri as we speak, here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. The Ashanti Council has given the governing New Patriotic Party a week's ultimatum to ensure its Ashanti Regional Chair, Bernard Enchibwesiako, also known as Wontumi, appears before it next week, Monday, January 29, over alleged derogatory remarks he made against the Asanteo 246 to the second. Now, we've been monitoring the happenings there in the Menshia, and then we understand the leadership of the party, led by its General Secretary, Justin Frimpong-Kodia, appeared before the council over the issue. Now, my colleague William Evans Sinkom was at the Menshia Palace earlier today and has come through with this report.
To maybe produced next week. All right, so the hearing of Wontumi case, which borders on an alleged statement that he made, was just heard by the Menshia Palace, and the chief of Bantama, Bafo Owusu Amankwetia the Sixth, presided over this particular meeting. Now, the leadership of the ruling party has been asked to produce Wontumi in 1 week, irrespective of his status, because leadership has told the Asanteman Council that Wontumi was indisposed. But considering the magnitude of the case, according to the Asanteman Council chaired by the chief of Bantama, Wontumi has to be produced to answer certain pertinent questions. Now, beyond Wontumi's appearing before the Santaman Council, of course, the Santaman Council is also expecting to hear from lawyer Maurice Ampao, who is also alleged to have made some derogatory comments. Aside Maurice Ampao, the Santaman Council is also expecting to hear from the management of Wontumi Media, because according to the Santaman Council, they gave lawyer Maurice Ampao the platform to make such unsavory comments. Until then, the ruling New Patriotic Party has a major task in restoring that harmony between the party and the Menshia Palace.
Well, a bit more on this. My colleague William Evansinko, who we just heard, is joining me on the telephone. Now, William, we're also picking information that aside the high power delegation of the NPP, there were some government officials as well, a delegation from government at the Menchia Palace. True?
Well, absolutely. So we heard in the morning that the Chief of Staff, Madame Frima Opare, was supposed to be part of the delegation that was supposed to meet the Asanteman Traditional Council, but she was not cited there. But I understand that there are other delegations who are also meeting some of these high-profile chiefs at closed doors, because this is a case that we see to be of higher magnitude, and it is very important that we use all available channels just to ensure that an amicable solution is arrived at, even before the Santehene arrives in the country.
Now, you monitored this crucial meeting earlier today. Now, tell me about the mood that you saw, and also after the meeting, the people who were there. What was their outward appearance looking like?
Well, so the mood was that of a fury on the part of the chiefs, because they consider some of the comments to be very highly derogatory, especially the one challenging the authority, allegedly challenging the authority of the Santehene, which wasn't much delved deeper into, because of the fact that the principal person who happens to be Wuntumi wasn't available, and according to the chief scribe of the party, he was indisposed, something that really infuriated the chief, because they think that it was just a cover-up. And I remember one of the chiefs asked for a medical report indicating that Wuntumi is indeed unwell. Then the issue of lawyer Maurice Ampao. Lawyer Maurice Ampao is said to have made some unprincipled words. This particular video has already gone viral, and is being shared, even though we cannot independently authenticate the genuity or the newness, the genuineness of this particular video. But Maurice Ampao is seen or heard making some unprintable statements against some chiefs in the Ashanti region, and this has also gotten them infuriated. Now they want to have, or they have summoned lawyer Maurice Ampao, and they did that through Wuntumi media, because they know that lawyer Maurice Ampao is not in the Ashanti region, or doesn't reside in the Ashanti region. He only comes here to do his job and then goes back to Accra. So Maurice Ampao and then the management of Wuntumi media are expected at the Menchia Palace on Monday. So
Maurice Ampao is a private legal practitioner?
Well, absolutely.
And he made this comment on Wuntumi radio or TV in the Ashanti region, or the one in the Greater Accra region?
No, in the Ashanti region. Wuntumi TV in the Ashanti region.
I see. Great. William, thank you. Appreciate your time on this. Thank you. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
William Evansinko is our Northern Bureau Chief and also our lead Ashanti regional correspondent, giving us details of this. What's happening in Menchia earlier today. But still staying with the NPP, they've issued a strong admonition to parliamentary aspirants planning to transport or gather delegates in preparation for the upcoming primaries on Saturday, January 27. To abandon such plans, the General Secretary of the NPP, Justin Kodia Frimpong, cautioned that aspirants resorting to camping or busing delegates would face disciplinary action. Speaking at a press conference earlier today in Kumasi, Justin Kodia Frimpong advised delegates to refrain from using their phones to capture their ballots after casting their votes. He further unveiled a set of guidelines in anticipation of the parliamentary primary scheduled for January 27. Meanwhile, he has also instructed all party members to abstain from making any comments on the ongoing issues between the political party, that's the NPP, and Menchia Palace. Now, the General Secretary of the NPP also disclosed that he, along with some party officials, was spearheading a visit to Menchia Palace in response to the matter. Now, the party's Ashanti Regional Chair, as we do know now, has been summoned and is expected to appear, all things being equal, next week as per the outcome of the meeting earlier today. This is Justin Kodia Frimpong at the press conference.
We know where we came from as a party, from UGCC, NLM, UP, PP, PFP, and the New Patriotic Party. Our history has been shaped. Our history has been formed. Our history has been supported by Asantemai and the good people of Ashanti region. And as a party, we hold extreme, undiluted, absolute respect for Asantemai, particularly His Majesty, our King, and Nananom. So please, I will use this platform to caution the rank and file of our party to desist from making any commentary, any comments, or whether through the media, social media, platform, WhatsApp platforms, and whatever means of communication, to desist from making any sensitive comments regarding Nananom and His Majesty and the party.
As Justin from Korea, there is General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. A water crisis in Accra West has left residents in distress, with many facing the reality of essential services slipping away. In some parts of the capital, a growing number of residents are voicing their frustration over the crippling water shortage. Emmanuel Somani was in Teshi to assess the impact of the situation there.
The challenges posed by low water pressure and erratic supply have significantly impacted residents in Teshi and its environs. Residents have been facing significant inconveniences, some even resorting to buying from private operators.
Over here, they normally open the tap once every week, but for the past 2 to 3 weeks now, the tap hasn't been flowing normally like it used to be. So when it happens like that, we have to move to the next community to get water, and that makes our expenses very high.
Those who have the reservoirs, they didn't even have water. So water there, even last week like this, I had to bath like 2 days interval. Yeah, because I can't be battling with people for water. So if I bath today, I have to relax, because the water itself, you don't even have it to even cook. It is even recently that people started washing. We don't even have water to wash.
The impact extends beyond personal routines affecting businesses, especially those in the food preparation industry. Vendors argued that the water scarcity is not only an inconvenience but also a threat to their livelihoods, highlighting the crisis affecting lives in the capital.
I am into cooking, so having a shortage of water affects my daily activities, because without water, I can't have my business being done or run.
Teshi and its environs have been struggling with water supply for almost a decade, and only time will tell if the situation would get better. Emmanuel Somani, Accra.
Well, so while we're monitoring this quite closely, and especially how this is impacting the people in the Accra West area, the Ghana Water Company has been attempting an explanation to the problem that these residents have been talking about. Here's Stanley Mante, who is head of communications.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity to interact with our consumers and our customers. Yes, I think we have always made it known to the general public as to the challenges that we face. In November 2023, for instance, we had a problem at Wager. One of our pumps gave way, and we needed to fix it and then to resume supply. And we worked on it, we completed it and resumed supply. You know, around the time, we were still producing, because we were supposed to run 3 pumps, but we were running 2. And we're working on the other one. So we're not unable to produce at full capacity, so it affected that area. And because we release water from Wager via gravity, when the levels in the final clear reservoir isn't that high, we are unable to build pressures for it to reach, especially the hilly areas in the western part of Accra, and that was what created the problem prior to the Christmas season. And we managed to finish that one. And then during the Christmas, we monitored the system until just after the New Year. We are faced with the same challenge again. We are working on it, and we are hopeful that maybe by Wednesday, that's the day after tomorrow, we should be able to complete the faulty pump and then restore supply. We are able to build up the levels, then we can improve on the pressure for all the hilly areas within that area for them to have access to water. It's been intermittent because of the rationing program that we also have in that area. So that at certain times when the pressures are high, everybody, especially on the rationing days, are able to get.
Right.
But when on your rationing day the levels are very low, you're unable to get the water, and we apologize for that inconvenience. So people in that area must be rest assured that the GWCO is working seriously to solve the challenges within the system so that we can improve on the water situation. There are two ways for billing our customers. Okay, the one by the meter and one on estimated bill. Now, if you have a meter in your home and water has not flowed through your meter, then the meter will not read. But per the contract that we have with you, you still will receive your monthly bills, but your consumption for that month will be zero.
That's Stanley Mante, who heads the communications and also corporate affairs of the Ghana Water Company Limited there. Now, the Teachers and Education Workers Union of the Trade Union Congress has joined the strike by the Senior Staff Association of the universities, that's the public universities in Ghana, and the Federation of University Senior Staff as is ongoing. In fact, what we're learning is that these two unions declared an indefinite strike over conditions of service and pension funds last week. Now, in a statement signed by the Teachers and Education Workers Union General Secretary Mark Denchira-Kranchi, stated that despite their demand for the restoration of their Tier 2 in October 2023 and other conditions of service, the government has failed to fulfill the promise. It said it is obvious that the patience of the university workers has waned, and the continued lethargy of government agencies in addressing labor issues will no more be entertained. TEWU therefore called on its members in the public universities to join the ongoing strike in solidarity, and especially on the non-payment of their Tier 2 pension contributions by government. Thankfully, we have the man who signed the statement that we're talking about on the telephone, Mr. Mark Denchira-Kranchi. He's the Teachers and Education Workers Union TEWU General Secretary. Mr. Denchira, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, and thank you for having me.
First of all, now you talk about the non-payment of your Tier 2 pension contribution. These are deductions from your salaries, isn't it?
Yes.
And what has government been telling you?
It's strange to note that having deducted this money from our salaries, and for as much as 9 months, these payments are outstanding. You push, and all that controller will tell you is that he's not been given the mandate to pay. You go to Minister of Finance, nobody is talking to you on these matters. And all promises upon promises, you will pay, and nothing is being done. Meanwhile, these monies are supposed to be invested by the schemes that are managing this Tier 2 pension fund, so that the returns on this investment plus the amount the individuals have contributed will be paid to the individuals when they are due for retirement. So having kept these monies for over 9 months means that we are shortchanging the people who are going to be beneficiaries of this fund, because they will be receiving their pensions without the investment for this period. And you know, time value of money is so essential, such that if you lose even 1 day's investment, it can affect the computation of your bulk pension money. So we think that it is quite unfortunate that we have to go through this kind of situation. and government must immediately take steps to pay so that the schemes can invest. And then when people are due for retirement, they can also be sure that the money that is being paid to them is the full amount that they are supposed to enjoy.
Now, if you're talking about Tewu, which persons comprise of or make up your union?
Well, so in the universities, we are talking about the non-teaching staff, i.e., the office clerks, the accountants, the administrators, secretariat staff, the laborers, the watchmen, the library staff, and so on and so forth. So it covers quite a large number of persons.
I see. So now you are joining the ongoing indefinite strike by the University Senior Staff Association. They are due to meet the National Labour Commission on Wednesday. If they call off their strike after the Wednesday meeting, is that to say you're also going to call off your strike?
So we're going to be part of the discussion at the National Labour Commission. If we go and pay what we are asking for, we're going to get it, then yes, we can call off the strike. Otherwise, this is the life of people, and we don't want to jeopardize anybody's life.
Okay, and in talking about jeopardizing the life of your members, how have they been living with all of these broken promises by government?
You see, our members are looking up to us as leaders, and they think that we should be able to fight their cause for them. And as leaders, we also have to act responsibly. So that is why we have sounded the caution for so many times, and yet nothing seems to be coming, and that is what has resulted in this action.
Well, Mr. Dentra Crunchy, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate your time as always.
You are welcome.
We have Mark Dentra Crunchy, who's the Teachers and Educational Workers Union, that is a Tewu General Secretary, joining us here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. We're also live on Kesme. And the man Yao Ofusulabi is here. We call him Kawawa. It's good to have you, Yao.
It's good to be here.
It's a nervy moment, is it not?
I don't see it as a nervy moment.
Really?
I think that all of this is self-inflicted. And so if they feel nerves, they have to feel the nerves. But I don't think that it's an every moment for me because I don't know how many of those ones these nervy moments I can endure. So I mean I'm just taking it cool.
I think actually I'm on the same page with you. We cannot continue to subject ourselves to this emotional torture and all of that, sitting on tenterhooks and every step of the way. We should be able to enjoy qualify without stress. And turning all of us into mathematicians and all.
I know it's stressful, but
that's where we are.
That's where we are. So we'll see.
Tell me, what does the look in your crystal ball tell you about this game with Mozambique?
I think that the Black Stars will win this game tonight. I mean, I'm thinking that because of what is at stake at the moment. A lot is at stake now. The major thing though is that, Alfred, just imagine this: if the Black Stars get out of the group stage again, or if they lose this game, they're out of the group stages. That's back-to-back group stage exits for the Black Stars, and that will mean that
has it ever happened?
It has never happened.
It will be unprecedented.
And that will also mean that under Andre Ayew, who's captain of the Black Stars have won just one game. That is if we lose tonight.
Wow.
They've won just one game at the AFCON under Dede Ayew's captaincy. Wow. So that's why I'm saying a lot is at stake at the moment, because it is his legacy.
Yeah.
It is his legacy is on the line as captain of the Black Stars, and so much more. So they have to win.
And
today.
he can't break the record too if we exit.
He can't break the record if he exits. So a lot is at stake for him.
That's a tough one.
It's a very tough position, and it's the reason why I feel like the game against Egypt should have been won comfortably, because. If you look at the Egypt game, there were so many moments where we had Egypt.
Sure.
I mean, even before Kudus scored the first goal, you realize that we were in control of the game, and if we had scored, it would have been a bit more difficult for the Egyptians to try to equalize. By the time we scored, when we came back from the halftime, it looked like the levels had dropped a bit. Egypt capitalized. Then Mohamed Kudus went on to score again, and then they capitalized again because of a few individual errors here and there. But that's just how our team has become. I have called for Chris Hughton to be braver with his selections, braver with his substitutions. And I think that is what has been our bane at this competition. If only he is brave enough to do the right things, put on the right players, I think that Ghana should be good.
Talking about the right players, which players are you talking about? And maybe just run through briefly with us.
Running through briefly with you, I think that usually in the first game, I don't think he got the starting lineup correct because of Ransford Koenigsdorfer. I didn't think that he deserved to play in that game, because if you have played a few cameos...
What's his name again?
Ransford Yeboah Koenigsdorfer.
From where?
From Germany.
I mean, Ghana. Which part of Ghana is it?
Oh, I don't know where he is from here, but I mean, he's a German born, so they had to give him a German name to attach to his Ghanaian name.
Okay.
Exactly. So I didn't think that he deserved to start that game, because he's had cameos for the Black Stars. In the game against Namibia, that was a friendly game. That was a game he played 71 minutes. And, the feeling was that throwing him on in a first game at the AFCON is a bit like throwing him in the deep end. And so it showed in how he played. He didn't play quite well. And in the second game as well, I felt the lineup was good. But at a certain point, Chris Hughton had to do a few changes. Someone like Jordan Ayew should have come off in that second game. He should have come off in that second game. And then Enes Nyama should have gotten an opportunity on that left-hand side, because we weren't creating too much from the left because Jordan was a bit tired. And I felt like Enes Nyama coming on would have given us a bit more urgency going forward in that game. I mean, Osman Bukari's substitution was a disaster, really. But I also did not feel like he should have taken him out after that incident of him giving out the goal. So, yeah, I think that if he is brave enough to do the right things. The thing also is that the defense has been a bit shaky. Mohamed Salisu's subpar performances have gone under the radar, but I think that they have affected us a bit in this tournament. And so if Chris Hughton looks at it and knows that, that there are a few changes he can make in defense, the thing is, we can start with certain players, but in the second half, when the struggles begin, some of these players should come off. Exactly, and that's where our problem was.
So you think Jordan should come off earlier than usual?
I think he should come off earlier than usual. Even in the game against Cape Verde, he didn't deserve to play 90 minutes. He should have come off earlier. And those are the things that Chris Hughton has gotten wrong, in my opinion. Given also the fact that Joseph Pinto, who had a really good game against Cape Verde, did not start the game against Egypt, was also very baffling for me, because why doesn't he start a game against Egypt? Was that something technical? Was it a tactical change? Nothing was said to us about why he refused to start Joseph Pinto in the game against Egypt. But I mean, I really want to see what the lineup would be today. I want to see Kudus back in the lineup, and Majid Ashimeru as well, because those guys are the guys who would make us tick. If we are supposed to do anything, it will be from those two.
So all things being equal, you expect that we'll win?
I expect that we win.
Hopefully, no individual errors again.
I expect that we win. I mean, even if there's an individual error, we should win. So they should score as many goals so that the individual errors do not make sure that these Mozambicans are able to come back.
Yeah, because yesterday was South Africa scored 4. So it means if we're going to look at the best third place.
Exactly. So when you score 4, there's a margin for error, but if you score 2 or you score 1 and you make one mistake, it's 1-1. Exactly. So I just hope that they're able to do that.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much.
Alfred, it's like you don't have him.
No, I do.
Hello there, good evening and welcome to the business segment here on Hot Edition. Coming up, IMF predicts 15% by year-end 2024 for Ghana with regards to inflation. Details coming up shortly. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Let's go straight into our top story now. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has predicted Ghana's inflation to drop to 15% by year-end 2024, significantly down from recent highs. This downward trend is expected to continue with a steady 8% inflation forecast for 2025 to 2027. The following news desk report has the details. The downward projection follows a steep decline in 2023, with year-on-year inflation falling from a staggering 53.6% in January to 23.2% in December. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, food inflation dropped down the overall inflation with a rate of 28.7% in December 2023, compared with 32.2% in November 2023. The non-food inflation also went down to 18.7% in December 2023 from 21.7% in November 2023, with inflation for locally produced items dropping to 23.8% in December 2023, while inflation for imported items stood at 21.9%. Overall, the IMF's forecast offers a positive outlook for Ghana's economy, suggesting a gradual return to price stability in the coming years. Well, that was a 3 Business News Desk report. Away from that, government has secured some $55 million to support efforts at dealing with youth unemployment. 250,000 young persons are expected to benefit from the funds in starting businesses, with part of the funds going towards boosting 150,000 jobs in agriculture and tourism. The Vice President, Dr. Muhammadu Baumia, made this known at the launch of the BizBox project in Accra. Here is a News Desk report.
The BizBox project aims to enhance business performance in agriculture, tourism, and construction sectors by providing startups with necessary tools and resources.
In strengthening existing businesses, new businesses, and youth of Ghana. The focus would mainly be on agric and agric-adjacent industries, the tourism sector, the creative industry, building and construction, the very foundations of what this country seeks to build on to grow and prosper.
The Minister of Trade and Industry, Katie Hammond, emphasized the project's potential to boost the economy.
As we get these structures in place, as we get a lot of financiers.
Well, that was a Business Desk report, bringing an end to the business segment here on Hot Edition. For more business stories, please visit our website, 3news.com. I am Michael Lubudu. Thank you for listening. As always, please stay safe. Up next is entertainment.
Well, thank you for joining us on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. It's now time for the entertainment news segment powered by 3 Entertainment. My name is Akofa. We begin with 22-year-old model Vera Yani. Now, Vera Yani is also known as Yanel, who made history over the weekend after she was crowned the first Ghana's most photogenic. The contest, which began with 12 contestants, had 5 finalists battling it out at the grand finale, which was held on Saturday, January 20 at the World Trade Center in Accra. Here are some highlights on the night.
It was an all-heels affair as 5 finalists battled it out to be crowned winner of the maiden edition of Ghana's Most Photogenic, designed to discover young and aspiring female models with exceptional talents. The grand finale, which was characterized by an electrifying fashion and music, served the audience with some intricate design outfits by some Ghanaian fashion designers. After hours of exceptional runway walk, of poise, attitude, and elegance, then came time for the crowning moment.
This is just the beginning for each and every one of you. I know that some of you go back to school and everything else that you do, but trust me, this is like a pivotal moment in your lives. I hope that the experience has been something that you've learned from and you always remember positively, I hope. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the various walks of life that, life and our paths would cross again.
The very first model for Ghana's Most Photogenic is Yanel! Congratulations going out to you, Yanel!
22-year-old model Vera Yani, with stage name Yanel, who has since been nurturing her dreams to become a model, made history as winner of the maiden edition of Ghana's Most Photogenic. Yanel, who also aspires to be a fashion designer aside her modeling career, received a cash prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis, will have a trip abroad, a spa treatment from J&M Salon and Spa, a feature in a magazine, and also a brand ambassadorial deal as well as makeup products.
The first edition. Well done. Well done.
Congratulations going out to Yanel for emerging the winner for the maiden edition of Ghana's Most Photogenic. Now, finally, before I go, actor and comedian Fanny Face is pleading with people to desist from bad-mouthing him or destroying his image to companies willing to work with him. The comedian admitted to making mistakes in life for which he's bearing the cost, but he's actively trying to secure ambassadorial deals to improve his finances. Fanny Face explained that for 4 years, he has not been able to see his children. The comedian said he was working hard to earn money, noting that he has no one to turn to after being ungrateful to people who held him up. His post reads in part, "Charlie, man made some bad choices and it has cost me. If you won't help me, please just don't destroy me to other companies who want to use me for ambassadorial deals so I can gradually gather some money, small, to go see my daughters. It's not that I don't want to see them, but Charlie, I'm broke, my everything spoiled." Now, Fanny Face stated that he would like like to pick himself up using his efforts and talents to improve his situation. He wrote, "Please stop destroying me to companies. We live, we learn. A situation that has cost me everything. My hope is built on the Lord, and I know he will come through for me. So allow me so I can hustle and gather money small to go see my daughters. As for baby Kimberly, she turned 3 years on the 24th of November. She's never seen me before," and goes, life. Now, Funny Face urged the youth to see him as an example and never turn their back on people who help them in life as a result of one pressure or another. Now, that ends it for the entertainment news segment here on Hot Edition, powered by 3 Entertainment. My name is Akofa. Thanks for your time. Log on to 3news.com for more news. The 3FM Drive continues.